My name is Milrad, so I'm the founder and executive director of Civic Legal Corps. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming out tonight. It's really awesome. Better than that. Just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about why we're here. So, you guys might remember, those of you who are history buffs, you think back this won't be too boring, but I wanted to get you to think back just a few hundred years ago to really our country's founding, right? So what we're all about as a country. And the one thing that, at least for me as a lawyer, that is at the core of that is justice, right? The idea that we all have the right and deserve the right to have equal access to representation. You think back to someone like John Adams, right? At the very founding of the country, defended British soldiers in the heat of the American Revolution. I'll let you guys read that story on your own, but I think it's just a great example that at the core of all that we are as Americans, there's this notion of equality and justice. So when I sort of conceptualized this notion of Civic Legal Corps a couple years ago, it was right after I graduated from law school, went to Northeastern Law School, shout out to them, Christine, shout out to you, she's an alum as well. But as many of you know who are lawyers in the room, or if you aren't, you know that there's really this core notion in the legal system of what it should be about, right? Which is equal access to representation. So when I finished law school a couple years ago, I kind of felt like that wasn't happening in our country, right? We have about 4 out of 5 poor folks in America who cannot access legal aid, whether because it's too expensive or if they're just so overburdened, as many of you know, and folks just can't get access to those free services. And then you think about the low and middle income folks, which are most of us in this room, unless Donald Trump showed up, which I don't think he did. We all sort of have those struggles, right, where we need to afford an attorney at one point in our lives. And about 3 out of 5 of low and middle income folks can't afford a lawyer either. So you think about those two problems, then you wonder, well, maybe it's just because lawyers are just, there's not enough lawyers, right? We just have, lawyers that got plenty of jobs and they're doing fine. Well, as it turns out, as again, a lot of you I'm sure are aware, about half of new law school graduates can't find a job. You'll meet some of them today. They're incredibly talented, passionate, dedicated public servants who want to do amazing work and are doing it now, thanks to Civic Legal Corps, but who, prior to tonight, didn't have that opportunity. So thinking about how to close that jobs gap and how to close the justice gap for low and middle income folks is really what we're all about. So yeah, that's why we're here tonight. That's why we're so grateful to all of you being here. I'm going to turn it over to Lillian McCartin, who's our legal program director. She'll tell you a little bit more about our services and introduce our amazing team. Lillian.
Thanks. So I just want to follow up, Jared, and thank you all for coming here. We are so excited that you're interested and invested in the project that is Civic Legal Corps. So we launched just a mere 3.5 months ago, and in that time we have heard from so many people who are facing challenges where they need legal assistance and cannot find affordable practitioners. And we have been able to provide those services. So again, we have helped people who are facing misdemeanor criminal charges, eviction, DCFS indications, as well as people who are going through divorce or are challenging the issues of custody or guardianship. And we are so excited that we get to help these people in this need and provide these needed services. And I think the people who are really doing this most amazing work are our attorneys who are working with us. So what I want to do is just want to kind of say their names and ask them to raise their hands, and then kind of encourage everyone to talk to them about kind of their practice areas and how they got into this and the kind of the work they're doing. So I'm going to first Emily Smith.
What is in the back over there?